On a dark and stormy night, a weary traveler named Emily decided to seek refuge from the pouring rain at the eerie Crescent Inn. As she stepped into the lobby, a shiver ran down her spine. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the sound of raindrops hitting the roof. Emily approached the front desk, where a middle-aged man with tired eyes greeted her. "Welcome to Crescent Inn," he said, his voice filled with a hint of melancholy. "We have a room available for you, but I must warn you, strange things happen here." Intrigued and undeterred, Emily accepted the key to her room and ventured into the unknown. The corridor leading to her room was dimly lit, with flickering lights casting eerie shadows on the peeling wallpaper. Emily's footsteps echoed through the empty hallway as she made her way to room 203. As she inserted the key into the lock, a sudden gust of wind blew the door open, causing her heart to skip a beat. She cautiously entered the room, which was adorned with antique furniture and an unsettling air of history. Emily couldn't shake off the feeling that she was being watched. Emily's heart raced as she looked around the room, her eyes darting from one shadowy corner to another. She tried to brush off her unease and convince herself that it was just her imagination playing tricks on her. She unpacked her belongings and settled in for the night, hoping that sleep would provide an escape from the eerie atmosphere of Crescent Inn. But as the hours ticked by, Emily found it impossible to relax. Every creak of the floorboards, every gust of wind rattling the windows, seemed to heighten her sense of dread. It felt as though the walls themselves were closing in on her, suffocating her with their unspoken secrets. Unable to bear the silence any longer, Emily decided to explore the inn. She stepped out into the dimly lit corridor, her footsteps barely audible against the worn carpet. As she passed by room 204, she noticed a faint whispering sound coming from within. Curiosity piqued, she hesitated for a moment before slowly pushing the door open. Inside, she found herself in a room that seemed frozen in time. Dust-covered furniture stood untouched, cobwebs hung from the ceiling, and a musty smell permeated the air. But what caught Emily's attention was the vintage gramophone in the corner of the room, its needle gliding along a record that played a haunting melody. As she listened to the music, a sense of melancholy washed over her. The haunting notes seemed to echo the sorrows and tragedies that had unfolded within the walls of Crescent Inn. Emily couldn't help but wonder what dark secrets were hidden within the inn's history. Lost in her thoughts, Emily failed to notice the figure standing in the doorway. It was the same man from the front desk, his tired eyes now filled with a glimmer of sadness. "You've awakened the spirits of Crescent Inn," he said softly, his voice barely audible above the music. "They are restless and seeking redemption." Emily's heart raced as the realization sank in. She had unwittingly stepped into a world where the past and present intertwined, where the lingering spirits of the inn's history were reaching out for resolution. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily braced herself for the encounters that awaited her within the haunted halls of Crescent Inn. Emily's mind raced with questions as she stood face to face with the man at the doorway. What did he mean by the spirits seeking redemption? How could she help them? With determination burning in her eyes, she steadied her voice. "Tell me," Emily demanded, "how can I assist these restless spirits?" The man's expression softened as he looked at her. "There is an old diary hidden in the inn," he revealed. "It contains the secrets and pain that have kept the spirits trapped here. Find it, read it, and seek the truth that will set them free." With newfound purpose, Emily nodded, understanding the weight that lay upon her shoulders. She thanked the man and delved further into the dark corridors of Crescent Inn. As she explored, Emily noticed ghostly figures lingering at the corners of her vision. watching her with pleading eyes. She couldn't help but wonder whose stories remained untold and what horrors they had endured. Determined to bring them peace, she resolved to find the hidden diary and unravel the inn's secrets. As Emily continued her search for the hidden diary, the atmosphere in Crescent Inn grew increasingly tense. Every step she took seemed to awaken more spirits, their presence becoming palpable. Whispers filled the corridors, and cold drafts brushed against her skin, sending chills down her spine. Haunted by the stories that yearned to be heard, Emily explored every nook and cranny of the inn. She ventured into the dilapidated basement, where the air was heavy with the weight of forgotten memories. The flickering light bulbs cast eerie shadows on the peeling walls, as if the spirits were trying to guide her towards their long-awaited redemption. In one of the rooms, Emily stumbled upon a forgotten nursery. Dust-covered toys lined the shelves, their cheerful colors faded by time. She felt a sense of sorrow and longing emanating from the room, as if a child's spirit lingered, searching for solace. Emily vowed to uncover the truth and bring peace to all the lost souls trapped within Crescent Inn. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she stood in the dimly lit basement of Crescent Inn, surrounded by the lingering spirits. She had uncovered the hidden diary, its pages filled with stories of tragedy and despair. With each word she read, the weight of the inn's haunted history pressed upon her. Determined to free the trapped souls, Emily devised a plan. Gathering the spirits in the abandoned nursery, Emily held their attention as she read aloud from the diary. Their cries and whispers filled the room, their anguish pouring into her soul. As the final words left her lips, a blinding light engulfed the inn, and a sense of peace washed over the air. When the light finally faded, Emily found herself standing in a renovated Crescent Inn. The worn carpets had been replaced, and the walls were freshly painted. The spirits had finally found redemption and moved on, leaving behind an inn that had been reborn. Grateful for her role in setting the spirits free, Emily thanked the man from the front desk, who revealed himself as the spirit of the innkeeper. He smiled warmly, his eyes filled with gratitude. "You have brought peace to this place," he said, "and now it is time for me to rest as well." With a final nod, the spirit of the innkeeper disappeared, leaving Emily alone in the newly renovated Crescent Inn. As she stepped back outside into the sunlight, a sense of relief and closure enveloped her. The haunting of Crescent Inn had finally come to an end, and Emily knew that she had played a crucial part in its redemption. Thanks for listening to this story. Put a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new stories.